So you want to learn how to play Among Us? Well, you've come to the right place. Pay attention, and maybe you won't get murdered. No promises, though. In Among Us, the players are divided into crewmates, who are trying to complete tasks, and imposters, who are trying to kill the crewmates. There are multiple maps that the game can be played on, and each map has its own unique features. This tutorial will be focused on the most commonly used map, a spaceship known as the Skeld. The game is divided into two alternating phases, gameplay and meetings. When playing with friends in voice chat, players will typically mute themselves during gameplay. A meeting will start whenever a dead body is reported or when someone calls for a meeting using the emergency meeting button in the center of the ship. During meetings, players will unmute themselves to discuss the information and suspicions that they have. Then everyone will vote for who they think is the imposter. If a player is unsure who to vote for, they can also choose to skip the vote. If a player receives the majority of the votes, they will be thrown out of the airlock and gameplay will resume. The crewmates win if they can complete all their tasks or if they successfully vote off all the imposters. The imposters win if they successfully kill enough crewmates that the number of alive crewmates is equal to the number of alive imposters. During gameplay, a list of your tasks is shown on the top left of your screen. You can access a map of the ship by pressing the map button in the top right. The map will also display your location and will show you where your tasks are using exclamation marks. Once you've entered a room that has a task you need to do, the task will outline in yellow. Approach the highlighted location and press the Use button to interface with the task. Once you complete a task, you can move on to the next one. If you're close to a dead body, the Report button will light up. Press the button to report the body and start a team meeting. If you die, whether it's by being killed by an imposter or by being voted out, you'll still be in the game as a ghost. You can now pass through walls, but only other dead players can see you. Dead crewmates still need to complete their tasks, so make sure you do those before you start following players around the ship. Also, dead players do not talk during team meetings. After all, dead men tell no tales. Unlike crewmates, imposters cannot actually perform tasks, despite the fact that they are given a list of fake tasks. They can pretend to do tasks if they want by standing next to a task location for a few seconds. While this can be useful to avoid suspicion, it can be very risky if you're playing the game with experienced players, so avoid doing this if you're just starting out. The imposters have the ability to sabotage the ship in different ways, which we'll get into later. To kill a crewmate, get close to them and press the kill button. You will then have to wait a while before you can kill someone again. You'll notice that the report button will light up. Yeah, imposters can report the dead bodies of crewmates they kill and the dead bodies of crewmates that other imposters have killed, so keep that in mind if you are a crewmate. Imposters are also able to use vents. Approach a vent and the Use button will be replaced with a vent button. Press it to enter the vent. From here, arrows will appear, which allow you to move through the vents to other locations on the ship. Each vent is connected to one or more vents in other locations. Press the vent button again to exit. Remember that your kill timer will not go down when you're in the vents, so don't spend too much time in there. Try to use it for quick escapes. Also, keep in mind that only the imposters can use the vents, so don't vent if somebody else can see you, otherwise they'll know you're an imposter and they can call an emergency meeting with that information. There are 4 security cameras on the ship. They can be accessed by going to the computer in the security room. Whenever someone is accessing the security cameras, they will all have a flashing red light on them, which turn off when no one is accessing them. Imposters need to make sure they don't kill someone if they are near a camera with a flashing red light. In the admin room, there is a panel that can be used to bring up a map of the ship, and it shows how many players are in each room on the ship. Keep in mind that this panel doesn't just display players who are in the rooms, but also dead bodies in the rooms, though the panel doesn't say which is which. If you're an imposter, your kill timer will not go down if you access the security cameras or the admin panel, so don't spend too much time on these monitors if you recently killed someone. Imposters can sabotage the ship in different ways. Even dead imposters can do this. By pressing the sabotage button as an imposter, a map of the ship appears and shows multiple buttons for sabotaging. Most of the rooms on the sabotage map will have buttons labeled with doors and an X. Pressing one of these buttons will close all the doors to that room for a few seconds. Pressing the lightning bolt will sabotage the lights, which will reduce the crewmate's vision to a small circle around them, while the imposter's vision remains unaffected. To fix this sabotage, a player needs to go to the electrical room, access this panel, and turn all the switches to on. This will restore vision for all the crewmates. Pressing the Wi-Fi symbol will sabotage the communication systems, which will disable the security cameras and the admin panel. Crewmates will also be unable to see their tasks on their list or on the map. To fix this sabotage, a player needs to go to the communications room, access this computer, and turn the dial to the spot where the audio sounds more clear. Once the green light lights up, the system has been fixed. When a critical sabotage is started, an alarm will start. If the critical sabotage is not fixed within a certain amount of time, the imposters automatically win. There are 2 critical sabotages. Pressing the nuclear symbol will sabotage the reactor. To fix the sabotage, a minimum of 2 players need to go to the reactor. At the top and the bottom of the room, there is a hand scanner. Access the hand scanner and press it. If both hand scanners have a hand on it at the same time, the reactor will be fixed. Pressing the O2 symbol will sabotage the life support systems. To fix the sabotage, players need to go to the admin room and the O2 room. Both rooms have a keypad in it. Access the keypad and type the code on the sticky note. If a correct code is submitted on both keypads, the life support systems will be fixed. Only one type of sabotage can be active at a time, and you will have to wait a while before you can sabotage again. All sabotages except for door sabotage will also prevent players from using the button to call an emergency meeting. Also, only players that are alive can fix sabotages. Always remember that imposters can fix their own sabotages if they want, so just because someone fixed a sabotage doesn't necessarily mean that they aren't an imposter. However, if you are an imposter, your kill timer won't go down if you're interfacing with a task that fixes a sabotage, so keep that in mind. Well, that pretty much covers everything you need to know about how the game works. If you want to practice a bit before playing with friends, check out Free Play mode. It places you in a game on your own with a few target dummies throughout the map. Using the laptop in the cafeteria, you can change your tasks and even switch between crewmate and imposter. So whether you want to practice specific tasks as a crewmate, or you want to practice killing, venting, and sabotaging as an imposter, Free Play mode is the place to go do that. I hope you found this video helpful, and best of luck to you out there.